Okay, says we're live. So we'll give it a few seconds or minutes to let people come in. If you're watching on YouTube, scrub forward until you see something start happening. This is what I'm going to work on today. Hopefully I can do it some kind of justice. We'll see. So, and other than that, I really don't have anything to show. A couple things I did this week, other than clean, put stuff away. Yep, we'll just wait. There's people coming. So hopefully it'll turn out good. I'm really tired, so it's going to be pretty chill today. Pretty chill. Hi, Annette. All right, we got a peep. Hey, Terry Brett, did you get your computer fixed? I told Dee Dee, I told her, that you weren't there because your computer got goofed up in a power outage. And I told her I just ordered another one. I wouldn't even know where to go to fix it anymore. Hi, CB. So, yeah, I wouldn't even know. Hey, Lena. After a lot of cursing, yeah, I would have been cursing for sure. Well, good. I'm glad you got it up and running. Yeah, I would just order a new one. Say, wait till Amazon can deliver it or run into town. I don't know. I'm glad you're back. Because this morning I mentioned it at Dee Dee's. They're like, I haven't seen Terry yet. Something, is she okay? Does anybody know? So, yeah. And yeah, so if you're just coming in, this is what I'm going to work on today. It's out of Kate Rebecca Leach's book, Creative Abstract Watercolor. I've done a couple things out of here. I like her style, but I think as much as her style, I just like her color choices. She's excellent at color choices. So, and I've only done like 2 or 3 things out of here, and she's got quite a bit packed in here. So, yeah, and I follow her on Instagram. She's kind of just in my wheelhouse, I did this one on stream, and I've done this, but I didn't do it on stream. Hey, Judio. Yeah, we had rain all morning. We had rain all night and rain all morning, and I didn't sleep last night. So I told Dee Dee, man, it's going to be a chill day because I'm just damn tired. That's it. I know, and I know I'll make myself stay up, until bedtime. But man, it's going to be hard. By 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be useless. Well, I'm useless now, so that's a given. Um, but some of you are participating in over on IG. A few of us follow an artist named Art Salute Beginner, and she does what I call crack art. Dee Dee hates when I say that, but it's like crack. It's so addicting, and so the challenge is for the month of August, you have to do one piece every week. And the first week was a 4-panel piece. And so I did one last week. And then I went ahead and did this one, which I really like this one, but I feel like there's more left to do. You're so dry there. No, well, it had been dry here, CB, but we finally got some rain. And this color is not showing up, but this is um, maybe a Viridian green. It's so pretty. So that was the one that I just slapped together. Thank you, Terry. Thanks, Bossy Butt. And then this coming up week, starting today, is a 9-panel. The first week is 4, the next week is 9, the next week is 16, and then the final week is your choice. It's just whatever you want to do. So I did 2 for the 4-panel in the same style of just slapping down watercolor and letting it do whatever it does. I like it, but I just feel like there's still I need to do more, but I'm not sure what more. So until I decide, I'm considering that one kind of a work in progress. And same with this one. I really like this one. I like the colors on it, the purple and the blue. And this is a much richer colors than you're seeing here. I like the symmetry of this one. But I have to do something in the purple background, and I haven't decided exactly yet what I'm going to do. So this one I will post when I decide how I'm going to finish it. And I'll try and get one more done this week. And I should be able to. It's not going to be a crazy week, I don't think. But I say that, and then something will happen. Hey, Barbara Clark. Thank you. So that's pretty much what I've been up to. And I did go in. I have a spare room. I call it the kids' room because I've got bunk beds in there in case the kids ever show up. And I put all my excess stuff in there, in a chest of drawers, in a bookshelf, you know, a couple bookshelves. But most of my books and all my extra supplies are in there. So I went in there this week and dug into it and got rid of a bunch of stuff and organized a bunch of stuff. And I walked in there just a little while ago to get the camera and the lights. And it was such a good feeling. It was just like, oh, it's so nice. And my room out here was clean. I cleaned it last week. And it was like, oh, I'm not sure I want to mess this up, you know, because I know as soon as I start, it's done. It's trashed again. So, yeah, this is what I've been up to, more crack art. And I was almost did that today just because it's always safe for me and I enjoy doing it. But I thought, nah, I'll do like some kind of watercolor. And that way I get to use my, if you weren't here last week, I took all of my Prima paints and took them out of their little black tins and put them in trays. And I ended up with 2 trays. This is all of them. And there probably is duplicates, but I don't really care. Hi, Regina. So, yeah, there's a lot of them. They're like 144 or some ridiculous amount of paints. So, yeah. And my plan is that since I've done this, well, my plan to even make myself do it was that if I get them in a situation where they're out and available to me, I will use them. And I made them just like the tray of my Daniel Smith and M. Graham's, and I have used them. The 2 things that I showed you were out of these. So, and they promote Prima as artist grade watercolors, and I'm just not in agreement with that. They're certainly better than average student grade, but I would not call them artist grade. But they're not real expensive either. Like you can get 12 half pans for say $25 to $30. So they're not the cost of artist grade either. Yeah, I pet them. They're not wet yet. They'll be wet here in a minute. Now these 3 here, they're part of the metallic set. And for whatever reason, you cannot get these 3 to wet. So I don't know what that's about, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use these. And maybe it's just to make myself feel better that you went to all the trouble to build the trays, organize all the paints, because I had to take them out of each of the little pans, and then put them in some semblance of order that made sense in my brain. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make sense in anybody else's brain. I hope you understand that my brain is just a little whacked, little crooked, but it works for me. Thank you, Regina. Oh, yeah, I'll pull it down and show it. My crack art notebook. I don't know if I put last week's in there. It's not laying here, so maybe when I cleaned, I did. These portfolios Dee Dee made me buy were probably one of the best things I've ever done. It made me clean up all my piles and messes. I do cut the balsa with an X-Acto, yes. Balsa wood is very soft wood, and you can carve it, you can cut it straight, whatever. And then to stain it, I just use that bottle of Tim Holtz Distress ink, vintage photo, mixed in matte medium, and it seals up the wood really nicely, and you can get it exactly the color you want. Get on it, bossy butt. All right, here, let's flip through this real quick. We're not in a hurry today because we're chill. Remember, we're chill. Let's see how much of this you can see. Got to move some stuff around here, which is no big deal. There's a little bit of everything in here, I think, you guys. It's, let me move my drink so I don't knock it off the table, because that would really piss me off. Like, you would hear words that you probably have never heard before, because I'll make them up as I go along. Soapbox Derby, yeah, they would weigh nothing. Yeah, mixed it with matte medium. And then the tray underneath, what everything is built on, I can't flip it over, but the base that I build on is just a heavyweight piece of chipboard. And then the weight distributes evenly, so it doesn't give, it doesn't crack, yeah. And I paint it black. So we'll just flip through here real quick. Neurographic. Bossy Butt did a great neurographic piece this week. Lots of Zentangle. These are just things that I saw and had to try. And they're not in here straight, so don't even pay attention to that, okay? And this is where crack art starts. This may have been my first one. I don't know. They're not in here in any kind of order. And I just shove them in anywhere. I don't really care. It's mostly in just, okay, here's the ones that I did that are out of that book that I didn't do on stream, but these are also very satisfying to do. If you just want to play with your stuff and get creative, those are so satisfying. So, yeah, I need to figure out a way to get these to stay in place. This is one of my favorite ones. But it's a fun way to work with colors, what colors work together, what designs work together. Yeah. I like this real muted one. I like the symmetry of this one too. I like symmetrical things, you know? And you kind of get to smush it all together when you do this crack art. And these are just, each one is a little one. And I did tape them down. Just using up paper that ends up floating around. And I sent some of these out to you guys because I don't know, I just did it. But I think one of the things that makes this especially appealing is that gold ink on top. The marbles, yeah, I've made that design for 100 years. And it was funny because the first one that I did of that, I think it was this one, I was just testing out some new markers I'd gotten, and it turned out looking so pretty. And there's a lot more you could do. I mean, you can incorporate shadows and different things in it. This one I ended up loving. This was for the challenge the last time, and it was, I don't remember how many panels. It was 2, 4, 6, 8. That was 24 panel. You finally got your gold ink. Are you using it? Hi, Dee Dee. Oh, awesome, Dee Dee. The zine box came. Yay. Go have fun with Boo, Dee Dee. Really, just go have fun with Boo. And you don't even need to watch the replay later because you've seen it all before. Anyway, but this one I especially love. I love the colors. I love the layout. There's just no downside to this one at all. Not crazy about that. This one folds into a little book, and it's got a lot of snark on it. I've shown it to you guys. You call them swear words. I call them sentence enhancers. You played with it? Did you love it? Whatever you have to say can wait until you're smarter. Try not to forget that, please. Even duct tape can't fix stupid, but it can muffle the sound. This is Bossy Butt's stencil that I just drew the design, put it down, drew it, and then painted it. I love this. This was so much fun. Love, love, love that. And that's a repeat of that other one in different colors, which I still love. Yeah, Terry's computer came back up. So this one, the colors are just delicious, yummy. And obviously this is just a bigger version of this. Again, symmetry, but the colors in this one, this is lickable. Lickable. Okay, there's last week's. I'm not an enormous fan of opera pink, but somehow with the orange and the blue, it worked. Tell Samantha hi. This one I was just playing. I actually ruined this one. And so I was just playing, and I ended up drawing that zipper, which I wanted to save it so I don't forget it. And then here's some more neurographic, because why would you keep it all together? So yeah, that's the junk I keep. I haven't done any of this in a while. And I do love the paint scraping. So I'm going to have to get back into that because I enjoyed the heck out of that. And I bought little bottles. I got to use my little bottles. They kind of do look like quilt patterns, right? And then this is a girl on Instagram called Sendoodle. And she does these, they look like rocks to me with the highlights and shading and everything. They come out really cool. She apparently has turned some of her art into jigsaw puzzles, which I thought was awesome because her art is very intriguing. And it's well done, you know. So this is just some that I did of her style of art. And then this is out of the book that I'm going to work in today. I did this one on, I did both of them on stream, I guess. Just something real appealing. But mostly you get to use your fun stuff. And if you come out with something good, bonus. And see, that's so easy just to put back up on the shelf. And I'm done with it. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for asking for that, Judy-O. Thanks, you guys. Remind you of a Tetris game? I used to love Tetris. Thank you, Annette. So let me pull you guys back down. I have kind of, you guys can't see, but I have a light sketch on here. But I am going to, and just don't get all your panties in a wad. I'm going to use a ruler and straighten these lines. Maybe I'll use the T-square so I know it's straight from the edge of the paper. So just bear with me a minute. It won't take long. And on hers, she left white lines between her little houses. So I was trying to think, do I want to do that as I paint, or do I want to go back in and add it later, you know, take a white paint pen or something and add it back? And I'm not sure that I ever really made a decision. I think it would be easier to go back in and add later, honestly. And I don't care if it's perfectly straight, but it's better than it was with my freehand for sure. And then getting those roofs. Roof is a hard word to say. At the right angle is going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Man, my hand-drawn lines were bad. Really bad. So other than that, I haven't really been up to much. I'm still living in lawnmower and truck hell. I'm hoping to get some phone calls today or tomorrow telling me what the heck we're going to do about all this stuff. I'm tired of this living in lawnmower and truck hell. And that's why Dee Dee wanted to pull out that picture of that lawnmower. She's just taunting me. It's kind of like Chick-fil-A. She just taunts me, terrorizes me. Okay, Devin's saying I would add back later. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'll add it back later. Thank you, Lena. It would be fun, CB. You mean some of that crack art? Don't worry, be happy. Thank you, Barbara Clark. You remembered. We love your creativity for what you create. You are just plain awesome. Ah, Judy, if you were here right now, I would hug you around the neck and give you a smooch. And then you would go, ooh, don't do that. But thank you. That's very kind of you to say. All right. You've got some straight lines, and that's an improvement. Hi, Debbie Epps. Debbie, I didn't get a notification, and I went back and checked the other day to see that I had notifications turned on. And for whatever reason, I'm not getting notifications. I hate YouTube. I shouldn't say that. I'm on their platform right now, so I should just shut up. But how hard is it to send me notifications that I freaking asked for? It's your job. And for those of you who don't know Debbie Epps, she is a longtime fib. And she's streaming. She can put her times in chat if she wants. But yeah, she's retired school teacher and is back streaming again. So if you're so inclined, give her a follow. And very talented artist. Does primarily mixed media. And any of you are welcome to put your channel, your date, your times, whatever in chat. I'm cool with that. Whatever makes you happy. I had somebody the other day write me a message. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or Instagram. And I've intended to tell you guys, it's been probably more than a week ago, but she said that she was new to this community and she was amazed how friendly and welcoming everybody was. And so thanks, you guys. I think it's important that we welcome new people and make them feel comfortable. Like, yeah. So you're not getting your notifications either, Debbie. It's so frustrating to me. You are like another sister for me. I would love nothing more than to see you and Robert Vaughn. I think you're people that would be wonderful. You would just come here and laugh at us. You'd go, is this really what you guys do? This is how you live? Do you feel good about this? What are you contributing to society? All right. I don't know that everything's really, really good and straight, but let me see. This is about the center here. Robert and I are very fortunate. We live a pretty good life and we're pretty happy. So, yeah. Sometimes I feel bad when I'm whiny because we have nothing to be whiny about. We're incredibly fortunate people. Even though I bitch about lawnmowers and trucks. and I'm not going to stop. So take that. Okay. No criticisms allowed. Yep. I'm trying to think. I've had Fibs come and visit. Shauna has been to my house when she was moving from Texas to somewhere up north. She's been here. Jen has been here. Trying to think. Not a lot of Fibs, but if you're in the area, that angle is just not working. Yeah, if you're in the neighborhood, Barb Owen drives within 15 minutes of me and hasn't gotten off the highway. Don't take it personal, Barb, or anything, but yeah. We're going with that. It's close enough. It's good enough for government work. All right, let's see which lines I've left out now. We pretty much do exactly what we darn well please every day. Every day. All right, we'll draw the roof here. Go ahead and put that down there. This one needs a line across. And I'll pick up a little bit of this graphite with, now this is really goofed up. Something is so not right. Oh, I know. Yeah, being retired is weird. I think you need more structure than Robert and I have. Just saying. I pretty much do any damn thing I want all day, every day. I do have to get groceries and pay bills. But other than that, no, I pretty much don't do anything that I don't want to do. And I'm about, if we don't get out of mower hell soon, I'm going to take that mower away from Robert and we're going to hire that done because I'm about sick and tired of equipment. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I am such a whiner. Poor Dee Dee has really had to put up with me a lot lately. All right, we've got our houses. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to need some more straight lines, so I'll leave that little ruler out. Okay, let me get the kneaded eraser out, pick up some of my lines. I don't want them. Well, does it really matter? Because they're going to be the guide for my white paint pen. You know what? We're going to leave them. And I'll just paint close up to them. But those will be where the white lines are. Cool, cool. All right. I think we're going to do the sky first. Oh, I got to get my paint out first. You guys are sitting there going, you could have prepared something ahead of time if you wanted. I know I could have. I didn't want. I'm going to use the same colors she used in her design, and that is, she uses Winsor and Newton paints, and I'm using, obviously, the Primus. So the Primus don't give you the names of the colors, so I just had to come as close as my memory would let me. So I'll put them in the order. Let's see, burnt sienna. Let's see what one that is. It's in the green one. I'm going to have to do a little bit of getting used to. All right, where is what I consider burnt sienna on here? Probably this one. And hers are real muted, so she's obviously watered them down a lot. Look at, I cleaned my little palette. Oh, and I got a new ceramic palette coming today. Robert needed some hoses or something for a mower. Yeah, I can't get away from it. It follows me. It's like a booger on my finger. Anyway, he needed some parts, and you can't just order machine parts without ordering something fun for yourself. That is an Amazon rule, and if y'all don't follow it, you need to adopt it, like right now. But anyway, yeah, the reference photo. That's the reference photo. So, yeah. So I ordered I've been looking at them for a long time. Let's see. Now I'm looking for burnt umber. Anyway, I ordered a, what one? Probably that one. Ceramic mixing dish for myself because I deserve it. Are those two? You know what? I think I just did the wrong color. I did. All right, I'm just going to water that one down a great deal. And then I'm going to go ahead and this is the one I wanted. That's the problem with having them in a tray like this because the colors are really hard to tell. I'll just add an extra color. What do I care? So I don't know when that's going to come to me. Sometime today, maybe while I'm streaming. But how would I know? Because Amazon won't ring your damn doorbell. If somebody reminds me, I'll go out and look and see if they dropped it on the porch. All right. This is the color I want too. And before I start painting, I will double check and make sure I've got something reasonably close to hers. But anyway, the ceramic tray that I ordered, it's like 9 inches and it's got a bunch of wells on it. So I won't be dinking around with these little things. I have a ton of these, but they're stained now and they annoy me. So yeah, the ceramic will come out beautiful every time. All right, next color up is indigo. We'll go to the other tray. One for Bob usually means 2 or 3 for me. You see, that's how I feel. I think his parts were like $4 and my tray was $24, but who cares? All right, indigo. Let's see which is a good indigo color. Probably that one. Yeah, let's do Jane Davenport Bright. Yeah, I put my Jane Davenport paints in here as well because in my opinion, and I'd be interested to hear what you guys think if you've used both Prima and Jane Davenport paints. I think they are the exact same paint. I have not been able to discern any difference in the two paints. I think Paula Phillips thought that as well years and years and years ago. That's been a long time ago. All right, Payne's Gray. I don't really have anything that would be a Payne's Gray out of Prima. So I think what I'm going to do is use the same indigo and just add some black to it. Because I got like 4 blacks, but nothing that I could get out my M. Graham Payne's Gray, but I'm not even sure how much of any of this I'm going to need or use, honestly. And some black. Now that they're getting wet, I don't want to be putting the trays on top of each other, that's for sure. I think the only Payne's Gray that I do have in watercolor is the M. Graham. I don't have it in Daniel Smith either, except on the dot card. All right. That's a reasonable facsimile. Yeah, Journal Artista. Yep. Haven't seen Paula around in forever. And then yellow ochre. Let's see. Probably, oops, that one there. Which is 5th one in. All right, there. I didn't screw that up. Woot woot. I think I just touched the bottom of this palette into the wet paint, so I have to wash the bottom of it off. I have to make a mess. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I have to make a mess. Very annoying. All right, let's test these colors and see if we like them. Separate the trays. I think they're two created by the same Chinese. Yep, I think so too, Debbie Epps. I've thought that for the longest time. And then when I started doing this, well, actually, when I did the watercolor poster, the swatch poster, that's when I became absolutely convinced, because when I did that, I did a lot of research on the pigments that were used in each of the colors, and I found a website that had the Prima pigments on it. And Jane Davenport, I don't believe, has ever released the pigments, and this is the one I did wrong. Okay, that one's burnt sienna. Yeah, it needs to be a lot lighter than that. But yeah, just doing a visual comparison, they were sure the same to me. All right, that's getting light enough. That is burnt umber, and I think that's a pretty good match. And I can lighten it up. This is the indigo blue. Pretty, pretty, pretty. This is the same color with black to make my own version of Payne's Gray, which I'm okay with that. That is a reasonable facsimile right there. And then some yellow ochre. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right, we've got our colors. We're good to go. So be resourceful. That's our color swatches. Now let me pick up some of the graphite on this, and we will start painting. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do that because the white line's going over. Okay, bad memory, age. What am I going to do? All right, I think I'm going to, I use this Pago brush to mix paints and do things with, because it's almost indestructible, and I don't want to wreck my nice black velvet brushes. So I'm going to paint with the black velvet, and I ruin with this one. Is anybody else that cuckoo? But that Pago brush is literally indestructible. All right, we're going to do the sky first. And I need a paper towel because, okay, it looks like she's using the indigo. And I'm going to wet it. Well, that had blue in it. I'm not going to do wet on wet except for the sky. I don't think. There might be a section down there that I might. So I don't have to worry about the paints touching necessarily. I'll not want them to bleed. So I'll just be moving around from section to section. And if I have to, I'll hit it with the heat gun. That is a pretty, pretty blue. I hope coming back in with that white later is going to work out okay. All right. I think I'm going to make sure it gets blue everywhere. But I don't want it real even. That is a nice blue, for sure. Just take a little paper towel and make some texture up in the sky. And that's how we're going to leave that. Hopefully it'll dry real nice, how I want it. Put some junk away here. All right, let's start down in this corner. So that can all be drying while I work down here. And all right, I'm going to have to draw in the doorway. So I stay away from there. And then the well, you know what? I can go ahead and do the whole base of the building because it's a real light yellow ochre. Because every color I put on top of it, I should be able to paint over. And then the borders are all in white, which I'm going to put in last. You can tell I really thought this out, right? So anything white, I'm going to draw in later. And just do a wash, a quick wash first, and then decide if I want it deeper. If I do, I'll come back in with more paint, or a second wash after it dries. But the door I'm going to leave white because the blue and the yellow will turn it green, and I don't want that. So initially it's just painting in your base color. And I think mine's going to end up being a little bit darker than hers, which is fine. This one, The windows are going to be wonky, okay? Hi, Kathleen. And hi to anybody who's come in that I maybe missed. Hi, Brenda. So the windows might be a little wonky. And I'm not going to get my hand in that, I promise, until I do. And any of these that I screw up really bad, and look at that one's fat, that one's skinny. I need to go about this a little bit more methodical. Look at the space available, you big dope. Okay, here, this is the center, so we'll move over here. I'll thank myself later for doing that. And this one, I don't care if it goes off the edge because I didn't draw the whole house, so that'll be okay. That'll be fine. That's good, that's good. Normally I would have this all drawn out, but honestly, an hour before I went on stream, I had no clue what I was going to do. I was thinking I was going to work out of 365 days of feel-good art, because when I want to do something and I'm just not sure what, that's typically what I pull out and play in. Okay. And those will be white dots. Okay. I think we got it. We got it. Hey, Cat and Paste. You need your ruler. I know I do, Barbara Clark. It's an illness. I don't like that this is dirty too. My old lines. Because those, after I watercolor over them, yeah, they're pretty hard to undo. So, but, all right. That's how the sky is going to end up looking. I might go in and add some blue later, but all right, let's work on this little building. I want the smaller paintbrush. Okay. The roof. Looks like this color. That's almost dry, so I'll be able to put my hand down there soon. And quick, while it's still wet, I will put in some of the burnt sienna, I think. And a little bit of the umber. I think when she paints on one side like this, she's trying to create a little bit of a shadow with the paints. So even though it doesn't look like it's real shadowed, it looks like that's what she's trying to do. So I'll try and create that the best way I can. We'll just wait and see. And then I'm going to leave that empty for right now. And I think, look at it, it's real gray. So I'm going to add just a little bit of the Payne's Gray. I'm glad we decided to add the white later, because this would be an absolute headache otherwise. Remember, I'm not using wet on wet, so I have to just smear the paint the best way I can. I got to remember that I don't have to be so precise because I've got that little margin of white. I'm working on the Fabriano paper that I bought from Blick that I showed a couple weeks ago, cat and paste. Turns out I'm really enjoying that paper, and I can't even tell you why I'm enjoying it, but I am. And I'm using those Prima watercolors that I put in the trays that I taunted you with last week. I'm using the Primas, and those are Prima and Jane Davenport are the ones I'm using. I love the bee paper too, Kristen. Hi, you're not wrong there. I do love the bee paper, but I've kind of been using the that Fabriano since I got it. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do the roof of this building because it's also in the light Payne's Gray. That is such a beautiful color, I swear to God. And this is just my own version of it. I mixed the, drives me crazy, the indigo blue, which in Prima, you don't know if it's really indigo because they don't tell you the colors. They give you a number. And I suppose I could look up which of their paints would actually allow me to mix it myself, but I'm just not that worried about it, to be honest. All right, we'll let that dry a little bit more. That down there is already dry, so we're gonna, I'm pretty sure it's pretty dark. And I'm not sure if I'll use the Artistro pens or just a jelly roll. And I might use both depending on what section of the painting. Looks a mess, doesn't it? Woot woot. All right, that's dry enough that I can go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in the car and go over here and try to find a guy that helped me with this.
Go do it.
Okay.
Working through the uglies. And I think I've got to get the tray back over here because I think I'm going to go directly from the pan to get that really dark blue that I want. Now, which one did I use? Does anybody remember? Yeah, this one. Hey, View. These look like Dee Dee's favorite colors. I'm actually using the colors that she used in that creative abstract watercolor book, Cat. But yeah, this blue is definitely one of my faves, for sure, for sure. And I want this part of this roof really dark, so. And it gets a design on top of it, so. We'll just coax it to be as ombre as we can manage here. All right, that's all white. So I'm going to do much the same. And that's still kind of wet, so I'm going to leave that alone for a little while. This is probably dry enough to let me work in. Because all I'm doing here is just getting down the base colors, and then I'll work on top of them. One thing about this Fabriano paper that I've noticed, and I suppose it's true of all watercolor papers to a greater or lesser extent. On this paper, it happens to be greater. I try and always make sure when I'm doing this that I've just washed my hands, that my hands are really clean. But I've noticed if I put my fingers or hands on the paper, it will absorb that oil from your fingers and act like a resist. So, yeah, that's one thing I've definitely noticed. Hi, Linda Rents. Give Tim a hug and smooch. The blue is really, really gorgeous. I'm going to try and move it up there in that roof a little bit. Try and make it a little bit more even. There we go. All right. This down here, it looks like, is the Payne's Gray again. And if it's wonky, it's wonky. I can't whine about wonky because it's my own damn fault. Ooh. Wonky house. I like watercolors too, View, and there was a time I would have said, I'm not interested. And while this is all drying, I'm going to go ahead and draw some elements of this middle house. And let's see, here's about the center, right? I should have gotten out my shape templates. And if I end up with different size windows, what are you going to do? Not exactly centered, but we're not going to worry about it. All right. That's kind of what we're looking at. You're going to tell Dee Dee. Dee Dee's out at a bookstore with her granddaughters, so Dee Dee doesn't have anything to say about anything because she's out having fun and we're not. So, and don't freak out that this is so dark. I'm going to spread it and make it lighter as best I can. I'd be a lot more comfortable if I was using a ruler. Let's just be honest here. But wonky houses, it's okay. Because all of this will get cleaned up when I put the white edging around everything. And I'm going to do that with a paint pen last. Well, I have to decide, am I going to do it last or am I going to do it next to last? Because a lot of these elements are going to have, and I got to get this moving, stuff on top of them. So that's kind of this artist, one of her elements that she does well. I probably should have gotten this wet on wet first, but it's okay. Because if we have to, we'll end up drawing bricks in. We'll do whatever we want. And I'm leaving this side a little bit darker, like I explained about the shadow on this side. I'm doing that intentional. Not very smooth, and that's fine. Because when I finish decorating it, you won't even notice it. Hey, Tori, you like wonky houses? These are kind of fun. I'm actually really liking these, and I wish I had. I don't know if I have another tray here or not. Oh, I do. I have a clean one. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna mix a couple of these colors to do. Yeah, that's still a little wet. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. This one's dry enough that I can work around it. And I don't need to. I'm going to do wet on wet over here too. A limited palette brings with it its own little challenges, you know? Pamela. All right, break time. Gotta get something to drink. These that I'm using are a little pricey, but I've had them for several years, and I would recommend them to anybody. They're silver black velvet. They're pricey, but if you buy like one a month, I got a good deal on them by buying a set. I don't know. I'm going to say maybe even 5 years ago. And I really, really like them. But talk to other painters. I mean, I think everybody kind of has their own version of what they like. But these black velvet are awesome. But like, I'm not kidding you when I say they're pricey. This brush could be as much as $30 for a single brush. So don't freak out when you go look. But treat it like an investment. I mean, these brushes are going to last you a long, long time, and you won't be sorry. I think this is the color that I goofed. No, this is the color that I goofed up. All right, that's not a bad color. All right. I just darkened up the yellow ochre a little bit. Hey, Martha Audette. You guys should wish Martha a happy birthday, delayed, because Martha had a birthday this last week. And honest to God, she literally is older than dirt. I'm not kidding. You have a wackadoodle doing your carpets. He blesses me every time he sees me. I'm currently hiding in the breakfast nook. This is some crazy shit. So happy belated birthday, Martha. It was the 8th. Hi, lovely. But yeah, she literally qualifies as older than dirt. For real. I can't even make that up. All right. Let's paint this in here. Oh, that's not dark enough. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. I did talk to her on her birthday. We've got a brother who's got a birthday coming up this next week. I'm just blocking in these wonky houses, and I'll show you what I'm actually working on here in just a second. Since some of you are coming in late, all I'm doing right now is getting the base colors down, and then we'll start the fun decorating in just a minute. But I got to get a base coat down. And I say it every time, but if you don't know, Martha Audette in chat is my real life sister. So this is what I'm recreating. And it's just in my lap. That's going to have a watermark, but I don't even care. If you like watermarks, this Fabriano paper is good for that. Okay. So I'm going to not paint anything around that what's wet, but I think this is dry enough now that I can come over here and do it. But I've got to draw some elements on it first. Oops, sorry if I knocked you guys goofy. All right. They do these curved doors on these houses a lot. I guess they're supposed to be castle-like or something. And that can all be one color. And this roof isn't as tall. That's okay. We can still do it. And this one also has a curved door. I'm just drawing all the elements in right now for this next row. They're wonky for sure. I wonder if I should come back later and do my own version of not wonky. And then that one can all be the same color. This one has a door that we're going to have go off the page. And that one's just got a different color. Okay, that one I can paint in. All right, I think I've got most of them. No rhyme or reason for when I use a ruler and when I don't. If it's a long span that I know I'm not going to get straight, I might as well just do it right to begin with. Carrie Brett thinks wonky equals charm. Okay. I'm pretty well dry now, so I can work anywhere I want. Okay, I'm going to use my brain. I know y'all don't get all freaked out about this, but I'm going to start in the upper left and work over, and then my hand's not in the wet paint. What do you guys think about that? What a novel idea. All right. Let's go ahead and do this one up here first. What's really weird, I'm going to use the Payne's Gray up here along that roof. And I'll leave a little bit of white line so I know where my line is. And then out of that, and I may have to get some more of that blue. I probably should come a little bit down on this side so I can keep replicating that shadow if I can. I know, CB. I would have thought you'd have known that from like 5-6 years ago. If you want to hang around with the smart people, yeah, pick me. And I didn't draw the line here, but I'm going to. And this one, she did kind of weird because she's got, let's just try it. What the heck? I'm going to do wet on wet. And she's got the yellow ochre kind of in the center with a little bit of blue on the edges, which is, I'm not sure how I'm going to recreate that, but we're going to try it real quick with a little bit of light yellow ochre in the center. And it's really too wet to add the blue right now, so I'm going to give it just a second. You, at your age? Well, you and Martha will get along really good then. Dee Dee is not here. Yeah, CB is my other wrench controller. Yeah. And I wanted Terry to offer herself up, and she refused, but that's okay. You don't have to do anything you don't want around here. All right, and so I'm going to use this light brown color that I just created for the building itself. You know what? That roof right there, you remember those watercolor paint sticks I got? That might be a really fun area to try and do some of the shavings off of those watercolor sticks. I've not tried that yet. Oh, hang on. Robert Vaughn just brought me a package.
Let me open it.
Get on it, bad boy. The icky stuff is yours. The good stuff is mine. Amazon just must have delivered. There should be 2 things in there. Don't break it, you big dope.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's warm. Was it sitting out in the sun?
No, the UPS man just brought it.
Oh, UPS.
Yeah.
Look at this new. Okay, we're going to take a little break so that you guys can appreciate my new ceramic palette. That was a good purchase, wasn't it?
Those in the trash.
Well, look inside. There should be something else in there. I didn't. You know these little things that you wanted me to order for you? Those little rubber pieces?
Oh, yeah. There is.
Yeah. And I think I'm not sure if I ordered you 2 packages. I did.
You did?
I'm so nice, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Do you love me a lot?
I love you. I love you a lot.
Okay, good.
A whole big lot.
Now go get those piece of shit pieces on your piece of shit lawnmower
Yeah.
and make it run. Because I'm tired of lawnmower hell.
Yeah.
You're excused. Isn't it nice? It's really heavy. Nice. Oh, I'm just going to sit it there and look at it.
You don't want to save this, do you?
No. Go put it in the big dump thing in the utility room. It's fun to get presents. I love presents. I'm with Terry, being a wrench controller. It's too much. That's true, Terry. I didn't really think about that. I just wanted you to be able to hit people on the head with your wrench. I don't know if it's Meeden or not. I didn't see the box, and Robert already took it out and put it in the trash, so I don't know. It was on Amazon, I know that. It was between this one and then there was another one. And honestly, that's too big for the space I have available when I'm working. But I get frustrated with these little dishes. So I thought, I'm going to buy me a big one. I'm buying a big one. And they had bigger ones. I mean, I've seen really nice bigger ones, but yeah, I got what I got. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. Oh, I didn't necessarily want that wet. I think I'm going to do this one. Really dark. That will take a minute or 2 to dry. You mean you want to encourage me to be violent? Well, no, Terry, I can't say that because your police will extradite me and throw me in your jail. I can't do that. Sorry. No, I need to get you the wrench that has hugs and kisses on it. That's true. She would. She'd be busy taking the U out of color or adding it, actually, Kat. She would be adding U's to words that don't have U in them. All right, and then this one is the really, really light blue. This paper dries really quickly. That's one thing for sure. Oops, that needs some water. Yeah, she would just goof up everybody's spelling. Whew. I dodged a bullet there, didn't I, Terry? All right, we'll go ahead and do that roof as well. Let's do that in the I haven't really used the burnt sienna much. I'm using her color scheme to a certain extent, and then I'm doing pretty much what I want. Oh, look at what I did. Look at what I did. I have to do it once every single time. Every time. I swear to God. All right. I'm not sure that there's any fix in it, so I'll just do that. You have one more overseas trip in you, it would be to the UK. I don't know if mine would be to the UK. I would go back to Australia in about a half a minute. Honestly, I loved Australia. It was just such a fun, good trip. But to go someplace that I've never been before, I think my choice would be Scandinavian countries. I'd go to Denmark and mooch off Lena. That's what I would do. I would go to Denmark and mooch off Lena. All right, and then I forgot the little arch doorway inside here. But yeah, I want to go to Norway, Sweden, Denmark. I want to go to the Scandinavian countries. But honestly, I don't think I will ever do another international flight. I just don't think I will. Airplanes and getting through airports, to me, is just like, oh my God. Denmark, yes. Sweden, you should, and bring your watercolor trays. I would so do that, Lena. I would make you your own. So I'm coming to visit. Here's your own watercolor tray. And I'd bring Pop-Tarts for Casper. I know he's not a little kid anymore, but if I remember right, you said you guys fought over the Pop-Tarts. I can't imagine, but whatever. All right. And the windows are white, and that's going to be a blue building, and that's going to be a gray one. This is blue doors. We can put the blue doors in. You know, here's something really funny. This watercolor, well, the brush and the jar that I use for water, I need some more blue. I was using the gold yesterday in them, and I'm getting little glitters on my painting. I don't mind, but I just noticed that when the light hit it, that I'm getting little glitters. All right. Yep, this is the door that was going to be blue. I'm glad there's a lot of blue in it. And there's really only so much goof ups that I can fix with the white pen, so I have to be a little bit careful. And amazingly, I didn't put my hand in that wet brown. But the fun time is worth the airport pain in the ass. Well, that may be true, CB. You were fighting over there, and that's so funny. Glitter from where? I guess out of the jar, my water jar that I apparently didn't clean well enough, or the brush. I don't know. But there's glitter on that, and there's glitter in that. And I was not using this palette, so it couldn't be in the palette. I don't know. That door's blue. Okay. And then these two houses are both blue. Different shades of blue, but they're both blue. All right, let's do this one. Well, that one's still wet. Can't do that. And that's wet. And that's still wet too. I can do it in here. It's really, really light blue. So I'm going to take some of this blue out of here and water it down a lot rather than trying to do it on the paper. Yeah, that's pretty light blue. A little bit more. Okay. I wonder what that same box would cost today, Lena, with postage. It's been several years now, I think, but I sent Lena a big box of American goodies, and that was before postage was uber insane. I mean, I didn't think it was too insane then, but the postage on it was like 75 American dollars. I'll bet for me to send that same box now, Lena, would be at least double that. Like, I'm not even joking. Postage has gone so insane. Sending Dee Dee her zine box, I can't remember how much it was, but it was like sending air. And yeah, wasn't double digits, I don't think. But yeah, that was crazy. It would be stupid crazy in shipping. Yeah, exactly, Lena. And that's what's so sad is, that was so much fun for her to get that box and show all the stuff that was in it. And it was literally American garbage food. It probably would be cheaper for me to fly there. That is no joke. All right, so we're going to do some yellow. I'm getting into mixing now. We're going to do yellow ochre with, well, that's what I did there. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of brown to it and a little bit of this red and see what we end up with. Not enough ochre in it. Yeah, that's fine. Which house was that? That was this one. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. Look at it's resisting. I had to put my finger there for too long a time, apparently. I just added the ochre right on the page. Who cares? Let's see. No, it was this one. I think that was the brown. This was the brown. I just went directly to the pan so I could get some pretty dark. Looks like the house is dirty at the bottom. You'll meet me at Lena's. Oh, would that not be so much fun, Devin? You catch your flight, I catch my flight, and we show up at Lena's door. Go, we brought the junk food. Where's all the fun peeps? That would be awesome. I'm really doing my best not to get my hands in the wet paint. So far, so good. Yep, that's a little dark. I wouldn't show up unannounced, Lena, because I'd want clean sheets, and I want your house really clean when I show up. I've seen your oven, so I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to worry about that. Lena has the cleanest oven on the planet. It would be like having a project for you guys to make. That would be awesome. But if you've never seen the photo of Lena's oven, it would put all of us to complete shame. She has the cleanest oven anywhere, anytime. All right, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and get this wet. It'll just be easier to smush all the paint around. This actually is taking a little longer than I expected. Okay, are we ready? And don't worry if I go into the side building, because remember, I have a little bit of margin of error for the outline in white. So I'm not being as neat and tidy as I might be if I didn't have that margin of error available. Now maybe that one is a little too much, but we'll work with it. I've learned not to be so worried about that with watercolor, because you can disguise a lot. And the most clean head, it's empty in there. Somehow I don't believe that, Lena. You will never convince me of that, ever, ever, ever. All right, and this one actually is a pretty dark blue. So I'm going to go in, and I know that's wet, and I'll probably get my hands in it, but don't you worry. I've only done it once today. I know I can fix anything I screw up at this point. Maybe. And if you can't, just call it a design feature. I meant to do that. Duh. That was still a little bit wet there. And I can always go back in and darken up any of this if it turns out when it dries, if it's too light, I'll just go in and darken it. That one oops. Did you see that? There 1 minute, gone the next. Hi, Shelley. Your 82-year-old mom, visitor in Canada at my sister's funeral. Expected maybe some change, but nope. House immaculate, garage. Oh my God. I'm really sorry to hear about your sister. I didn't know that's why you'd gone, Shelley, so condolences to you. But yeah, good that you got to see your mom. You know, if I don't know if they still have them or not, but if I was going to go to Canada, one of the first things I would stop and buy inside the border, and I probably could be able to get them at World Market in Tulsa, but the first thing I would stop and get is a Coffee Crunch candy bar. There's so many blue houses. I'm going to switch that one up. Well, I've got the brown, the gray, the blue. This is a blue door here, so we'll just use the paint that we've got in the brush. Yeah. Isn't it Coffee Crunch candy bar? Used to be my absolute favorite. I think I'm going to do a yellow ochre in there. I just feel like there's just too much blue going on, so we're going to do that one, yellow ochre. Might throw off the whole balance, but we're not going to worry about that crap because we got other stuff to worry about. Coffee Crisp, missed getting that. That used to be my very favorite candy. And then the other thing, I didn't like you guys M&Ms that much, but you had them in colors that we didn't have. So I always wanted the M&Ms, even though I didn't even like the M&Ms that much. Your chocolate was not as good as ours. But you had pink and purple M&Ms, and we didn't have those. Of course, now you can get M&Ms in any color, I think. I don't eat them anymore for the most part. But yeah, Coffee Crisp, that's right. It was a yellow package. And I would lay down and read my book and eat Coffee Crisp. And other than that, I can't really remember too much other stuff that I was just excited about. I'm going to make the bottom of this one a little bit darker. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. And then this one over here is kind of the reddish brown. That's going to be too dark, though. I'm going to lighten it. And I loved French fries. There was something about Canadian French fries. And it wasn't poutine. It was just, I don't know why. They were always seemed so good in Canada. And I almost don't even eat French fries anymore. I don't know what they've done to the oil, the potato, the something, but potatoes in America or French fries in America suck now. Brutally honest. No butter tarts? I don't remember butter tarts. What were butter tarts? I added some yellow ochre to this to make it a little bit richer. I don't remember butter tarts. Now keep in mind, this is a lot of years ago. I was a kid. All right. The doorway down here is blue. I'm about ready to start decorating around here. Oops, that's a lot of paint. Okay, you Canadians, got a question for any of you. We used to go to Saskatchewan a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Have any of you ever been to Waskesiu in northern Saskatchewan? I probably should ask Ruth Sheldon. She lives in Saskatchewan. We used to go there a lot. I've set myself up to put my hand in that paint again. I'm going to go direct to the pan again for the dark blue of the door. So pretty. It's pretty far north. Do you see the bears? I did see the bears at the dump in Waskesiu. That's funny, Shelley, because I was just telling somebody, I don't remember, we didn't see it at the dump. We used to stay in a campground out at Waskesiu. And the boys, my dad and two brothers, had gone out fishing on the boat. And Mom and I used to buy two of those word search books, two of the exact same ones. And then we would race each other to see who could get it done quicker. Hi, Julie Topaz girl. And one day the boys were out fishing, and Mom and I were sitting in the trailer, and we'd seen the bear around the trailer and everything for probably a week, and they weren't coming to get the bears. Anyway, so we were sitting there racing, doing a puzzle, and either Mom or I said, I don't remember now which one of us, I think I said to Mom, we haven't seen the bear all morning. And I looked over, and the bear was standing up, leaned against the trailer, looking in the window at us. But yeah, and then it was shortly after that. They used to come and get the bear in a bear trap and then haul it off. They didn't kill the bear. They just hauled it off to a safer location because that was fairly populated area. So yeah, we saw the bears at the dump, and we used to see the bears at the dump up in L'Orange. We used to go up to L'Orange too. and the bears were always at the dump there. So yeah, that's so funny. You'd buy two of the same book and then race to see who could finish it first? Lake L'Orange, yeah. I was up at Lake L'Orange. And I've been further north. I've flown in. Peeping Tom Bear, right? He was probably going, is this really how you guys spend your time? Sitting there racing each other in a word search book? But we did that. All right. So got that one. Those windows are absolutely white. The windows that should have gone in here, I'm going to do in some of this paint that I mixed over here. I got to draw them in, though. I'm afraid to go in with just the paint because even at this point, I could erase if I had to. So and the one thing I remember from Waskasoo, the little town itself, they had a really fun book section at the gift shop, and I could get books there, and they had snow cones. All right, let's see. I don't know which color I want. This one will be okay. But I always loved to go into town because I could get another book. I read a lot. I wish my memory was better, because I remember things about all the places, but you don't really remember it, That doesn't surprise me at all, Shelley, that you had to wait for the moose on the golf course. That doesn't surprise me at all, but that is a beautiful little town. Let me check my messages here. I'm waiting to hear on our truck when we can go pick it up. That's just BS, spam stuff. I want to hear about my truck. All right, where are we at here? That window stays white. Those windows stay white. Those get a design in them. Those stay white. All right. Now I'm just thinking, I think I'm going to go directly from the pan on some of these colors. I guess we'll just see as we go. I didn't finish this roof though. Okay, this is going to be weird because I've not done this before, but we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and re-wet this, and I need to wash the brush out. I probably need clean water. I'm going to re-wet this and do like a wet on wet on top of it. and add just a little bit of blue. Along the edges. And let it smush up into the ochre. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't, who cares? That looks pretty weird, huh? But that's what it looks like in the book. So we're just going to go with it. Go with it. Wonky and smush. Yeah, they are technical art words. Yeah, they're in the art dictionary. I'm pretty certain of it. Okay. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun because now we're going to start. How did that happen? That's kind of a weird thing. It's okay. Let me hit it with a heat gun before I goof something up really bad. But this is, I'm liking it so far. Some of this now is going to be really fine detail. So I'm wondering if I should use, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to use a pen. Because I'm not going to do well with the, even the little paintbrush. So, okay, let's do an experiment first. Because experiments are always a good thing. I'm going to do get the jelly roll out. Only yours, View. Only yours. I'm going to try the jelly roll to see about doing the outlines. I'm not going to do them now. I'll probably save them for off stream. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'll make you guys crazy. No, I'm going to have to get out. Yeah, I'm going to have to let it dry completely, and that's what I was afraid of. If the paper is even a little bit damp, white is not going to work well. So there was my little experiment. All right. I bought these Pen and Gear. They're like felt tip, real fine line felt tips. We're going to try and do some of the detail with that. And I'm sure it's probably cheating, but we don't care about that. Because doing this, stuff like this with a paintbrush would get really tedious really quick. And the area's got to be big enough that I can still do the white margins around them. Oh, you know what? Maybe rather than this color, hang on. I might want to use that. That's purple. What did I do with that? There's the Payne's gray color. maybe I would prefer the Payne's Gray. Now this is different. This is the Sharpie pen. This is probably my favorite part of the whole thing, is start doing the details now. But you got to do the ugly part first. What has she got under that? I don't know. Oh, I've still got to finish this doorway. What the hell? I wasn't even done yet. Why didn't somebody point that out? I like how you do your house. I had bought a stamp from Art by Mylene with the houses. That's cool. All right, let me finish these two little. Okay, so it was the Payne's Gray. This should be pretty easy to dry quickly, so. Okay, heat gun, no ruler. I know, right, Joanne? Crazy. I'm going crazy today. I did use a ruler earlier, though. All right, and then the door is, I'm going to do it light brown. And then go in directly to the pan and get some of the darker. Because she made this door look a little blotchy like the roof up there. So we'll just hope it dries that way. I don't know if it will or not. Probably won't. But we can always hope. Hi, Maritza. And anybody else who's come in. We're doing wonky houses today because we got nothing better to do. I really want this white pen to work. I'm really going to work hard at not putting my hand in that. Okay, over here where it's pretty good and dry, this seems to be working better. I still am not sure I'm loving it, but we'll find out. And for any of the circles, I could get out my dot making tools. Nice thing about using the pen, I'm not having to sit around waiting for it to dry. So that's a cool thing. And I still have time to put my hand in that, so. Let me see what I do with my white pens. I might go get a new Artistro. Hi, Kathy Berg. You like the houses? The houses are fun, huh? Pull all the way out so you can see the whole thing before I start decorating them. All right, let's see if we can coax this piece of crap pen to work. These pens are kind of hit and miss. And I don't like fighting with them, especially on stream. Okay. Looks like this one is going to be agreeable for 1 minute. I'm not holding out huge hope, but we're going to do our best. Yeah, see, it's not going to want to write on this. It's just too damp still. I guess I could get out my Posca and see if it'll work better. White pens piss me off like you would not believe. But I need one that's going to work really well. So let me go get a brand new one, see if I can coax it to work. I know one of these in here does work well. I think this is the newest one. I got it working the other day. Look. Oh my God, that cracks me up. Let me shake it real good. All the white pens are hit and miss. They are, Kathy Berg. And I've quit buying those ones from Japan. Those worked well for such a long time. And then I got a batch that just wouldn't work at all. And it made me so mad. And I think I'd paid a premium to get them shipped. And I was just like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. These are usually pretty good about not picking up the watercolor too, which I really like. But when you have to fight with them to get them to work, it's just not worth it. I probably should have thought of that before I didn't leave the margins, but leaving the margins would have been like the biggest freaking headache on the planet. All right, let me see if I can get out a Posca that's going to work. And if I don't, I'm just going to wait till later and then mess with one of those pens. See where the Posca pens have gotten off too. Oh, you know what? I bought another kind of acrylic pen too. Anyway, I got the Poscas down now. Let's see if we can find one of them that will. I need a pretty, yeah, see, that's too big a nib. I need to go through these. I bet some of them are just absolute garbage now. Wouldn't work in a million years. There's a fine tip white. Let's try that. Hopefully it's not a brand new one. It's not. Yeah, better. If this works, it's going to be awesome. If it doesn't, it's not going to be awesome. Hi, Min. I think you're new here, so thanks for coming. These ladies will be really nice to you. The reason I don't go to Posca immediately is I've not had great luck with Posca not moving the watercolor. All right, this is acting like it wants to work. I haven't used it in a long time, so. All right, now I'm going to get pissed off, you guys. I'm going to have to mess with this later. Because it acts like it wants to work until I want to write with it. Maybe that's how you end up using all your Posca pens, is you just sit there and do this until they all run out of ink and you go, I think I'll order some more of that crap. I will find something that will work. Even if I end up having to use my liner pen with acrylic paint, which I'm not crazy about doing, but I'm not liking this right now, and I'm not going to fight with it on stream. So I'll do everything other than the white. Sorry, dudes. All right. Where is the Sharpie pen? I don't know. I can't see well enough. There's something under these windows, but I can't see well enough to know what it is. And my intent is to clean up around these, but you'll get the idea. Anyway, if you missed Dee Dee's this morning, she, wait a minute. No. Okay. She did a collage on one of those wooden substrates, which turned out really cool. Birds and flowers. Worth watching. And this will all get white around it, so it's really going to be hard to tell what the end result is unless I can figure out some way to get white around it. And I could paint this in with watercolor. If I was a purist, I would absolutely do that. I'm not, so I don't care. Hi, Alicia. Quiet here today. Yeah, I'm thinking about solving some of my problems. Because I've got to get a white border around all of this. And some of this stuff I can't do until I get that. I can do this for sure. I'm thinking. I'm going to get my bigger dot tool. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I got quiet for a minute, but I've been talking my head off. We'll see if we can make good dots with the leftover watercolor with these bad boys. And half the time you can't tell what I'm working on because it's upside down. Now those, they're going to stay wet for a little while, so I'm going to have to be really careful with those. Where else do I got dots? Down here in this blue one. I think I'm going to try the watered down first. And you know what? I might make... Nah, this will be fine. No, I'm going to try the bigger dot tool. The bigger one may not work any better, but we're going to give it a go and see. No, no real difference. So, and if they're a little wonky, it's fine. You get to hear the little clink, clink, clink. See why I wasn't worried about the watercolor being uneven, because I knew I was going to come back in. Let me mix some more. I knew I was going to come back in with some design on top, whether it was drawing bricks or doing polka dots or whatever. So the base wasn't going to be that important at the end of the day. It makes little splashes around it. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got little splashes of the blue in there. And this is the weird little stuff that she adds that I just love. But these dots are going to take a while. I'll hit them with a heat gun. But yeah, they'll take a little while. I suppose I could rub them out a little bit and see if I could get them thinner. I'm going to have to turn it upside down, or I can guarantee you I'm going to get my hand in that wet paint. Oops. I don't think there's wet anywhere other than up here. Sorry I got quiet, you guys. Bad case of acne, is that what it is, CB? I could go in and sop up some of the excess water, because it looks really dark now, but when it dries, it probably won't be that dark. Up here it will be, because I made that paint really, really dark. But that was really watered down paint. So mostly what you're seeing there is just the water. I might go back in and add some more, depending on how I feel about it after I look at it. You think that's cool, Alicia? I like doing stuff like this. And after it dries, if I wanted to knock this back a little bit more, I could go over the whole thing with another wash of the light blue, and I may. If it's just too polka dotty for me, I may go back in and go over a wash, the whole thing. Just depends. And if you just let it sit there a little minute, enough absorbs into the paper, so you get that same effect, you know what I mean. If you do it too quick, it won't have the same effect, but that's cool. I like that. It would be fun too to go. Well, I don't. It's not part of my palette, so I'm not going to do that. I really wish I could figure out what was under that window. I just can't see it. I need to get out a magnifying glass or something. Stubborn me, I'm going back in with the white pen. That isn't going to work. I'm probably going to have to get out some acrylic. I didn't want to, but I think I'm going to have to. Well, I should wait until I do the white on that, and that's white. Yeah, that's dark enough. I guess it depends on what it is, whether or not I'm going to go in with a pen or go ahead and use the watercolor. But this, I wanted it to somewhat match, and so I'm not sure that I had a brown pen that would match as well as this paint's going to match. But the little design elements, they take some time if you're going to paint them all in. Okay. All right, what else can I do with watercolor right now? We'll see how good my circles with a paintbrush are going to be. Woo. Not sure I have huge faith in myself. But at least they came out somewhat evenly spaced. Not sure about their same size or anything, but yeah, that's okay. I can deal with that. All right, and then I think I just use this paint. I already have it out. All right, let me hit it with a heat gun. I got too many paints in too many places. I'm setting myself up for an absolute disaster. Who's crazy? I right, Devin? Those are going to take a while to dry. We'll move on. I'll just try really hard. No paint on my sleeves yet? Doesn't appear as though there is, but I wore a white shirt last week, one day last week. Honest to God, I ruined that shirt. I mean, it is worse than a paint shirt now. It's crazy dirty. I tried to wash it yesterday and it's still sitting in the dryer. All right, let's do this color. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, I'm not going to get my hand in anything. Looking, seeing how much other paint stuff I've got. All right, that's all I can see for right now. I'll move on to something and find more here in a minute. All right. Dry enough that I could set my hand on it. Woot woot. Okay. Probably want to use a ruler here. And really at this point, you guys, I'm doing mine much like hers. But at this point, you could probably add whatever design elements that you wanted. For real. There's so much white. All right, up here. I'm assuming these little boxes outside the windows are like window boxes. Or just something that you could add more interest, you know? Because there's no flowers or anything in them. Did you see how close I came to getting my hand in there? Yeah. I wonder if you could have outlined all the houses in the thin washi tape and then peeled up afterwards. I suppose you could do that, Devin, but that is far more than I could have probably accomplished on a stream. You know what? I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to go get one more last brand new white Artistro, and if it doesn't work, I'll tell everybody don't ever buy these crappy pens. Hang on just a second. I have other options I could try too. Trying to think of these other acrylic pens. I'm pretty sure, did I ever? This is another brand of paint pen that I got. This is medium tip, exchangeable chisel tip. I don't even know how long I've had these. Oh, this is a big old nib. And look, it's not going to work. But I have an exchangeable chisel nib that I can try later. And that's the only white one of that one, it looks like. Maybe not. Nope, that's a big old fat one, never been used before. Okay, those are not a good option. What did I do with the other ones? This room is not that big. I can't lose stuff. Anyway, this is the brand new extra fine Artistro. And now it's not going to want to get its little ball moving. Sorry that I'm using up all your time. See, I don't have any washi that thin. I do have, like it's an 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, I would say it's an 1/8 of an inch. The washi, you know, that's designed for that I used on the swatch poster to get everything perfect. And when I run out of that stuff, I'm definitely ordering more. That stuff works exactly like it's supposed to. Okay, the little ball's moving. Brand new. Never been juiced up. And here are the instructions. Shake, press, draw. Masking fluid, no, I don't think it would work because masking fluid is a little bit thick. And to get it in perfect lines, that would be really, really hard. So I don't think masking fluid would work. But my my default, if I can't get any of these crappy pens that you buy for this specific purpose to work, probably will be some little bit, okay, there comes some white paint. Make sure it's really, really shook up good. It acts like it wants to work. Let's try these windows first. Okay, maybe I found one that's going to work for me, you guys. Whew. Are you sorry that you sat here and listened to me whine and complain for 2 hours? Maybe 3 hours by now. We're at 2:30, yeah. I don't think I spent the whole time whining about it, though. Yeah, this one's going to work. So maybe what they need to advertise these as is one-time use. Use it once, throw it away, and go get a new one, which they're pretty cheap. That's not completely unreasonable. But yeah, this one's going to work just fine now. And my experience with these has been, it doesn't tend to pick up the watercolor, and the Posca does. Well, now it's not going to work. I'm going to sit here the rest of the night and fight with this bastard, it looks like. One thing I have learned is if you have to go over a line, let it dry completely before you try and go back in. Okay, but at least you guys will get to see now with some of the white around it, and then I'll fight with it later. And occasionally I think it does good to, you missed a lot of the whining. Oh, I'll make up for it. Have no fear. Yeah, shaking it occasionally, I think, does help it. And this dries really, really fast. So that's another thing I really like about it. So the likelihood of me getting my hands in the wet paint is lessened. But I'm going to have to go around everything in this painting. So tonight when I'm watching TV, chances are that's what I'll be doing. Now I should have some white paint, some white acrylic paint out, because there is a large area, like going around this one. It's pretty thick, and I don't think it's going to be thick enough for me to work on top of. So some areas I may decide to get out the acrylic paint. Whatever's going to make it easier for me is what I'm going to do. How about that? Hi, Goldie. You stick a needle through it. You put masking fluid in small bottles that have metal tube. Okay. I could try that. I actually have those little bottles, Goldie. I bought a bunch of them to do, well, a bunch of them, more than I needed, to do paint scraping, like the Oblivious Mind. Yeah, this is pissing me off now. I'll have white everywhere. Why can't somebody just make a freaking white pen that works consistently? You'd think we can send men to the moon, we can do all this crazy stuff, and we can't freaking make a white pen that writes consistently? What the hell is wrong with us? There's got to be something wrong with us. All right, now it's decided that it likes writing. That's what I'm talking about. And I will straighten up these lines if it takes me all night. Isn't that weird how it decides it wants to write for a 15-second period, and then it just decides, nope, that's enough. You've had enough. Go back to your whining, wench. Oh, and there's more painting. Okay, well, I'll just wait for that. I would like to get one freaking straight line out of this thing, because I wanted to do this roof. I like this roof a lot. Roof. You gonna write for me? Huh? Bad boy, you gonna write? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, if I go back over that, I'm going to let it dry first. Do I need to pull you guys in so you can see a little better? Oh, when it's working good, it's awesome. So can you envision when the white pen decides to write how awesome it is? And there's some more painting that I got to do down there that I didn't do. All right, you're working good right now. Let's see if we can do a white straight line here. This will be awesome if it works. If it doesn't work, y'all can just go open up a bottle of something that you enjoy drinking, because I'm going to take my time bitching. Yeah, baby. Devin, I have had my doubts about Man on the Moon. I hesitate to say that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but as the world gets crazier and crazier, I'm getting to be more and more of a conspiracy theorist. And honestly, one of the things, and if you look at the videos on YouTube and what they talk about, you know, like how did they do this and how did they do that, and I've looked at the pro and the con of both sides. Okay, did they leave a camera on the moon to transmit pictures, or you know, all that stuff? But honestly, the older I get, the more and more I'm thinking, you know what, I've been lied to my whole damn life. So now everything's up for question. And I don't necessarily want to be that way, you guys. Cheese. Like, I'm not even kidding you. But I'm starting to doubt everything I hear. Can't believe it. It's not true. Somebody lied to me. I do like watching those conspiracy videos, though. There's some freaking nutty people out there, and I don't necessarily want to believe them, but sometimes they're awfully compelling. That's all I gotta say. The Why Files, yeah, I've watched those a few times for sure. They definitely make you start questioning stuff, right? Bigfoot. If you saw a picture of my son, you would be convinced that there is Bigfoot. His name is Jamie Young. All right, now that the pen's working, I'm really happy. And this house isn't so bland. I've just got more painting to do on it. Movie Capricorn 1. Is that Capricorn misspelled, Judy? I think I'll do better if I draw toward me rather than away from me. And if it was my normal self, I would have gotten out a circle template for that, but it's okay. All right, I don't want to stop with the white because the white pen's working good right now. So as long as it's working good, I'm going to use it. Wipe the edge of your ruler off so you don't smear that white all over the place. I know that because I've done it. Dang, when it works nice, it really works nice. I'll bet they do cat and paste. You know, chickens are out in their coop talking about human conspiracies. I'm certain of it. I'm absolutely certain. Yeah, the white pen just crispens everything up. So I think her white borders are a little bit thicker. And I suppose if I wanted, I could, do another line right up next to this one and get them thicker, but I'm not sure that I care that much. But I probably will do this again and pay attention to the lessons that I've learned. But yeah, I'm not at all unhappy with it for sure. All right, I'm tickled to death that I got a white pen working. I'll go ahead and work on something else real quick so you can kind of see some of the other design elements. And then when I get it done, probably not today, I will work on it tomorrow until some of these buttheads call me about equipment I have all over the damn country. Until I got to go start picking up equipment or getting equipment delivered or whatever. Yeah, I'll just work on it tomorrow. And then I will post it on IG. That roof line is really jacked up. That's all I got to say. I got a little carried away. You know why my pens maybe don't work is I don't treat them very nice. And if I want some thicker lines, I probably will get out the acrylic paint. For real, Debbie, isn't it? It's just amazing that the little final details just make everything better. Where'd the lid go? All right. All right, pen, I'm going to ask you to work again later, so please don't be a pain in the ass. Okay? Okay. Capiche? All right. I'm going to use I'm going to use the paintbrush. I'm almost out of blue. I still have some painting to do. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. So yeah, pay attention to IG tomorrow and I'll try and get it posted. But that depends entirely on whether or not I get some phone calls either today or in the morning. Because I can't tell you guys how frustrating a couple of weeks I've had with equipment around here. About ready to sell it all and go buy all new. No, not really. Hire people to come do crap. The problem is, though, out here, I was just telling Robert last night, so frustrating that when you live out in the country like we do, out in the middle of nowhere, no big cities anywhere nearby, people are so inconsistent. You know, like I called a electrician. I need an electrician. So I called him, and I've used him before. Called him a week ago, left a message. He hasn't called me back. I know he's still in business. Oh, thanks, Martha. Will you go watch the Duluth Huskies? Um, anyway, I haven't heard back from the guy. And that's so typical out here. Or they'll tell you, I'll be there Monday. Well, you better find out which Monday because it could be September, the third week in September. And that annoys me. That's why you can't hire anything done. Okay. Actually, this one, and I will use the white too. Like down here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little bit of that blue where I just was a little messy. I will clean that stuff up and make it look more better. And this one, she has the roof tiles in white. I think I'm going to do them in dark because the white isn't going to show up real great on that light gray. So I think I'm going to do them. And she has them wonky like this, so I'm doing them wonky too. Yeah, she does do straight lines. Yeah, I'm glad I did it dark. I think it looks better. I'm really trying not to be so perfect here, you know. Just get her done. So can you see how it's going to come together? Yeah, you guys, give each other your names on Insta so you can follow each other. I think most of you guys probably follow me. I'm just look up Janet M. Young everywhere. That's pretty much how you're going to find me. This doorway is going to be fun. I may end up, I'm not sure that I'm loving the white windows. I might leave them. I don't know. There's a little bit of white here and there. Of course, there'll be white all over it when I'm done. I'm not going to make any decisions right now, but I may end up painting those light gray. We'll see. All right, and it's getting about 3 o'clock. This doorway, I'll do it real quick because it's going to be a fun one. But yeah, you can see when I get all the little doodads, I think it's going to be really, really fun. I can hardly wait to see yours, Terry. I hope you guys give it a try anyway. Maybe not the exact same thing, but something similar, you know, where you're just playing. You're trying to draw your version of this. It's tricky. Yeah, it is. I'll agree with you there. I'm not unhappy with it. I think there are things I could have done better. Well, I could have planned better, but yeah. Why would you do that when you're going to stream in front of people? That would just seem so damn silly. It sure is nice when your pen works, though. I will say that. Makes everything much better. And that one, that roof has more paint on it. Yeah, this one I really don't get what's underneath it. But using the white definitely makes everything just a lot crisper. So, because trying to paint and butt up next to each other like you'd have to do in a painting like this would be, you could do it. It would just be a long process because you'd have to wait every step along the way, you know? Goldie, give it a try and then follow me so I can turn around and follow you back. Yeah, and I'll try and take a really good picture of this. I'm not unhappy with the way it's turned out, you guys. And this dark roof up here, it's got some cool stuff on it. More than anything, it's just fun to play with your stuff, you know? And if you create something awesome, yeah, good on you. I like to show you the things that are really going to show up good. It's a little tricky under the camera. And mine is not exactly like hers, I've discovered. The sizing and everything's different, but that's fine. God, it makes it easier when you have a white pen that actually writes. That's so awesome. All right, so I was going to rag on these Artistro pens, but it's working, so I'll use it tonight while it's still working really good. All right, you guys, my time's up. I'm going to go on and probably keep working on this for a little while, and then I will post it. Oh, awesome, Goldie. I will follow you back for sure. I used to have building stamps. Oh, Debbie, now you've got to tear the whole room apart. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging with me today. Hopefully next Monday I have a little bit more energy and I actually will have gotten some sleep the night before. That would be way awesome. And go out in the world and do your best. That's all I can say. Be kind. I really love you guys. So I'll go look at yours, Terry. Thank you so much, Lena. All right, you guys, go have a really fun day, okay? Judio, you're awesome too. Love you guys. See you. Bye.